Pierce Brosnan, the renowned actor, was born on May 16, 1953, in Drogheda, County Louth, Ireland. He is the only child of May, née Smith, and carpenter Thomas Brosnan. Pierce's name is a tribute to his grandfather, who was named after his parents' surnames, John Brosnan and Margaret Pierce. Pierce Brosnan spent 12 years of his early life in Navan, County Meath, and he considers it his hometown. His father left the family when he was just an infant, and his mother moved to London to work as a nurse when he was 4 years old. As a result, he was primarily raised by his maternal grandparents, Philip and Kathleen Smith. After their passing, he lived with his aunt and then his uncle, but later he was sent to live in a boarding house run by a woman named Eileen. Growing up was quite solitary for Brosnan, as he never knew his father, and his mother's absence due to work made it challenging. Despite these hardships, he admired his mother's courage to seek a better life for both of them. She came home occasionally, and Pierce acknowledges her strength and determination. Brosnan was raised in a Catholic family and received education in a school run by the De La Salle brothers while serving as an altar boy. He moved to Scotland to live with his mother and her new husband, William Carmichael, when he was 11 years old. It was there that he was introduced to the world of James Bond when Carmichael took him to see the movie Goldfinger. The family eventually moved back to London, where Brosnan attended Elliott School in Putney, now known as Ark Putney Academy. The transition from Ireland to England was challenging for him as he felt like an outsider in the big city. His nickname at school was Irish, reflecting his heritage. After leaving school at 16, Brosnan initially pursued painting and trained in commercial illustration at St. Martin's School of Art in London. However, after attending a fire-eating workshop, he discovered his passion for acting. He then trained for 3 years as an actor at the Drama Centre London. Acting became a liberating experience for Brosnan, providing him with a sense of satisfaction and leading him towards a successful career in the entertainment industry. Sean Brosnan, 39, is one of the sons of famous Hollywood actor Pierce Brosnan. Sean has seen a lot of challenging times throughout his life, and for a while, his father was worried about his behavior. When Sean was 18, Pierce banned him from clubbing with model and TV presenter Catalina Girardeau, who is 9 years older than Sean, making her 27 at the time. After Sean and Girardeau were spotted going out to drink at a plethora of infamous London venues, Pierce feared that his son was losing control of his life. Thus, he called Sean to tell him to stay away from the older model. As reported by Daily Mail, the Brosnan family has a tradition of being susceptible to getting heavily involved with alcohol and drug paraphernalia. Pierce became anxious when he saw the classic signs of a rebellious attitude within his teenage son, and so he decided to put his foot down when it came to setting rules for his son. Sean spent his childhood growing up in Malibu, where his father owns a home, and attended Millfield School, located in Somerset. Girardeau became friends with Sean and his family in 1998 after her previous relationship with his brother, Christopher Brosnan. A close source of Girardeau and Sean had spoken about the relationship between the two and why Pierce was concerned for his son. The source said, "She is a bit like an older sister to him. It's not so much that Pierce doesn't like her. He is just worried that Sean is hanging out with an older crowd at clubs where drugs and drinks are readily available. He is concerned that Sean isn't mature enough to deal with it, so he called him last week and told him to stop hanging around with Catalina and stay out of trouble and concentrate hard on his acting course." 2 years prior to the warning he received from his dad, Sean was involved in a near-fatal accident. He was being driven by one of his friends, James Hall, who was driving drunk when the car plunged 200 feet down a steep Malibu cliff, rendering Sean's abdomen severely injured. There were 4 passengers in the vehicle, and Hall ended up serving time in jail. While appearing as a guest on the Inner Space with Dr. Barbara Van Dalen podcast, Sean candidly spoke about the difficult time he went through after his mother, Cassandra Harris, tragically passed away. Harris died from ovarian cancer when Sean was just 8 years old. As a way to cope with the amount of pain and grief he was experiencing, when he went to middle school, his experimentation with drugs began. Despite being the son of a famous actor whose career was booming at the time with his start in the James Bond franchise, Sean recalled how lonely he felt at school. He revealed he did not make any friends during his first few years at the English school. The 39-year-old establishes a level of trust with people who seek his guidance by being an open book when sharing his story in detail. Sean asserted that his abuse of drugs was brought on by the painkillers he had to take after the perilous car accident he was involved in. He revealed, "I tasted opioids for the first time in the hospital. After the accident, I was a drug connoisseur. I never really stuck with anything, just with one substance. Kind of whatever you had, I would take, and alcohol was what stayed with me." When Sean graduated from the Central School of Speech and Drama, he joined the British Shakespeare Company and attempted to get sober for the first time at 25. However, after he saw some successes in the industry, making features in a few noteworthy MTV productions, his sobriety efforts were thwarted when he lost his sister Charlotte Brosnan in 2013 from the very same illness that killed his mom. He shared, "I had a bit of time before my sister passed, about a year and a half of sobriety. After she died, I drank on the plane on the way there. The insidious part of alcohol addiction was that I almost used it as an excuse." However, Sean's life took a positive turn when he met and fell in love with his wife, actress, producer Sonia Bannock, in 2014. The pair embarked on a remarkable journey together where a lot of healing was involved, and a year later, the happy couple welcomed their first baby, Marley May Cassandra. Since turning his life around, Sean has made an avid effort to use his story to help others along their difficult journey of sobriety. Sean is now a certified professional counselor after acquiring his master's degree in clinical psychology in Los Angeles at Antioch University and completing studies in psychoanalysis at Valley Community Counseling Clinic. He has also worked to help others treat their addiction for over 10 years, having started as a sober companion and residential advisor. His approach to helping individuals on their sober journey is inspired by great psychoanalysts such as Carl Rogers, Viktor Frankl, and Carl Jung. Sean's therapeutic method is based on meaning, trust, and fearless examination. The 39-year-old establishes a level of trust with people who seek his guidance by being an open book when sharing his story in detail. Of his overall mission with his therapeutic work, Sean says, "I aim to help those dealing with addiction, trauma, grief and loss, as well as those who are just seeking a higher meaning and a more powerful sense of purpose in their life." Outside of his professional career in the mental health world, Sean is a devoted and doting husband and father. A few years after Sean and Bannock welcomed their firstborn daughter, the couple welcomed their son, Jackson Elijah Brosnan, last year, making Pierce a grandpa for the 4th time. Sean is a dedicated family man and adores his family immensely. His Instagram page is showered with all types of family photos of himself, his kids, and his wife, who he constantly boasts about. One particularly heartfelt photo that family man Sean posted showed him sitting beside his little girl with a loving arm placed around her. Their backs faced the camera while they looked out to the body of water in front of them. The heartwarming caption was centered around Father's Day. In a world filled with rivers and lakes, in you, I have found an ocean. Thank you for being my daughter and choosing me to be your father. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hashtag Happy Father's Day. Sean has had to navigate through a series of life challenges, especially ones embedded in grief and pain, stemming from the loss of a massive part of the Brosnan family, his mom and sister. However, he made it through to the other side and is now living a happy life with his beautiful family and his mental health work helping others.
Chúng ta đã cùng nhau khám phá những câu chuyện thú vị và đáng chú ý về các ngôi sao hấp dẫn. Nếu bạn thích nội dung video của chúng tôi và muốn tiếp tục nhận thông tin mới nhất về các ngôi sao, đừng quên đăng ký, like và để lại comment ở phần bình luận bên dưới. Chúng tôi rất trân trọng mọi ý kiến đóng góp của các bạn để cải thiện chất lượng nội dung trong tương lai. Hãy chia sẻ ý kiến hoặc gợi ý, thắc mắc mà bạn có thể cho chúng tôi những thông tin chính xác hơn trong những video tiếp theo. Cảm ơn bạn đã dành thời gian theo dõi video này. Hãy nhấn like và để lại comment ngay bây giờ để chúng tôi biết rằng bạn đã thích nội dung này. Đừng quên subscribe kênh của chúng tôi để không bỏ lỡ bất kỳ thông tin hấp dẫn nào về các ngôi sao trong tương lai. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn trong những video tiếp theo. Chúc mọi người một ngày vui vẻ và thú vị.